obviously played the Wild 8 times, much more than you would in a normal regular season. Does that make those previous matchups, I guess, a little bit more instructive this year, or is it, the playoffs are kind of just a whole new ball game for everyone?
Well, I think the format and the number of times you're playing teams in the division, it definitely gives you a better book on your opponent than you would have in a normal playoff series in a normal year. Having said that, that book's still pretty impressive when you look at Minnesota, especially how they played us. So, we obviously have to learn from some of the things that we didn't do well, and trying to exploit some of the things that maybe they don't do well.
We'll hold a moment for a few more questions to come through here for Pete. Next, we'll go to Vince Sapienza, Channel 5, Las Vegas.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Pete. Talking with the guys, obviously we've talked about, how the playoffs are a different animal. But you guys obviously don't want to change your game too much. You've had a lot of success, not just down the stretch, but overall in the season. So I'm curious, between now and Sunday, what kind of mental switch needs to flip into this, win or go home type mentality?
Well, I think I consider it a luxury that we played meaningful games right until the final game of the season. I think we've been in a playoff type mode for a while now, so I don't think we have to flip any switch. We've been in a playoff mindset for a while now. We had the most wins in the league, and we have to remember that and remind ourselves what we do well. And obviously we're going to, dive into Minnesota and spend some time on them. But this is as much about us and our game and continuing to play with the detail that we've had lately.
Next question for Pete. DeBoer comes from Jesse Merrick, Channel 3, Las Vegas.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Pete. You talked about looking back at the series with Minnesota throughout the year, kind of what they did well. What are some things that stuck out to you that they did well against you guys?
Well, they beat us. They found ways to win games. I'm not going to get into the details of what I think they do well, or what we're going to try and exploit, or what they're going to, or what we didn't do well. I think, that's for team meetings and amongst our group. I think they found ways to win games, even in games when we had played well and had the lead late in games. They found a way to climb back in. So that's going to be something that we have to be aware of.
Next, we'll go back to David Shane, Las Vegas Review Journal.
Hey, David.
Hi, Pete. Just injury-wise, obviously there's a handful of guys not out there. What do you have in terms of update for them for game one?
We had a semi-optional today. We had most participants, but if someone wasn't out there, doesn't necessarily mean they were injured. We've got a couple days of practice here today and obviously tomorrow. So, again, the injuries are what they are. I think we've got some guys that I would consider day to day, and every day we'll wake up and show up here and see who's ready to play.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.